Got the sun hat on. Well, the saga continues. I'm out here in the alfalfa field, and it's already crispy on top. So it's really too late to be tedding. So I'm just gonna let it go another day. Dad was gonna bring the tedder over. He took his truck down there to get it out and hit a wet spot and got his truck stuck. So we've been jacking with that all morning. So, gotta adapt, change of plans. I'm going over to his house and gonna go ahead and work on the baler and the stacker. He's gonna go ahead and ted his hay. And then when he gets done tedding there, I'll bring the tedder over here and I'll ted this tomorrow morning. If I get here in time this evening, I might go ahead and ted the rest of this because it won't matter how dry it is actually. Just trying to keep from having to drag the tedder back and forth. So I didn't want to bring it over here, ted this, take it back over to Dad's and ted that. So we're gonna ted while it's there. He's gonna go ahead and ted his. And I'm gonna gather up some stuff to take over there. So this isn't gonna be drying as soon as I hoped it would. It's just part of it. I think it will still have time to get it dry. This is Saturday. Not supposed to rain till Wednesday, so we got tomorrow, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday to get it dried and baled. Let's head out. Got everything loaded up except the quarter-turn chute for Dad's baler, but we aren't baling today. And trying to get over there so we can get to tedding. So I'll worry about that tonight in the morning. That shouldn't take too long to do. So, and I would just throw it in here, but I gotta lots of parts and stuff buried on top of it. Get the PTO shaft out, get it on the tedder, and start tedding. All right, we got one tooth that's backwards here. All these tedder rake teeth are, one tooth is longer because they're at an angle. On this one, you can see, this one here is the longer one. So I'm gonna have to take this off and flip it over, flip it around. Just take the nut off and that. Then the bolt should come out. And this piece here will come off. And this here come off. We'll flip that around. Then this piece goes back in. And if I can hold that with my leg, maybe I can get this on camera for you guys. Okay, that's in. Then that goes on there. Then the nut. Now we just tighten it up. Maybe. I'll have to get something to hold the nut. 3/4. Put the tools up. Dad fixed some corn dogs. We're gonna eat a really quick bite, and then he'll probably end up tedding while I work on the baler here. And or while I work on the stacker, and then when he gets done, he may want to mess with the baler with me or whatever. So, gonna go in and grab a bite to eat, and then we'll get to tedding and get to working on some stuff. All right, we'll see if we got the hydraulic line hooked up right. First time of the year the tedder's been run. Hopefully everything goes good. Spreading it out. Stirring it up. This right here is why we ted, guys. See all the green laying on top now? Now the sun can dry that out. And we'll probably have to TED one more time, but that picks this stuff up and fluffs it up off the ground where it's kind of settled so the air can get under it, as well as just kind of flipping new stuff up on top. Mostly sunny today, a few clouds here and there, but it's to be expected. I think we'll be sitting pretty good. We got 3 more days, so hopefully this will dry in 3 more days. I think it will. Of course, this is what I mowed first, and get a little bit of footage here for you guys, and then I'm going to go up and work on the baler. Tell you what, I never thought we needed a tedder. I thought, we've made hay for years without a tedder. Why on earth do we need a tedder now? I'm here to tell you, we need a tedder. First cutting, this stuff here would never actually get dry like it needs to get. It might get dry enough. You're still gonna have some green spots. You're gonna catch some mold. The tedder does away with that, cuts down on your drying time. I mean, look at the difference. This compared to that. It's just an amazing tool, you know, and there might be times when we don't have to use it. That's not very often, but in our area, the tedder is an essential tool. You know, we used to just use a rake. We'd rake it up and we have to flip it 2, 3, 4 times to try to get it dry, and that just works it to death. The tedder, we can come out when the dew is still on, if it's a leafy material, a legume of some sort, and we'll keep our leaves on by tedding it when it's moist. But it does a really good job. You know, there are times when I'm frustrated with it, but it's definitely paid for itself. Combined yield contest, guys. It's really hard to judge this sometimes. Even being here, it's really going to be hard on the video. All right, guys. So on top, it's pretty stinking dry. Underneath, you probably can't hardly see this, but it is physically wet to the touch. My hand is sopping wet now. The ground is still wet underneath there. It's that's just what we're dealing with. Of making hay in a humid climate and a humid time of the year. Don't forget, yield contest. Comment in this video, or you can comment in my previous video where we cut this, or my previous 2 videos where we cut this and cut the one at my house. Any of these videos or the next video where we rake, you can make your guess. Once we start baling, the guessing is done. So comment below with your guess, guys. Good luck. It won't take long for him to ted that 8 acres. Cover two swaths at a time. Finally, remembering my plow bolts. Put the bolts on this knife, and we're going to continue on adjusting this plunger. And I'll be honest with you, it's mid-80s today, I think, and it feels nice in this Quonset building. I'll tell you what, it's almost like air conditioning with this breeze blowing through here, and we're out of the sun. Honestly, couldn't ask for anything better. I mean, you could, but I wouldn't expect anything better for sure. Got them in. Now, I'm going in the belly of the beast to tighten them up. To access this bearing that's on the cam on the plunger for side to side. Loosen up this bolt here. You don't have to take it all the way out. Slide that off, and this access comes right off. That bigger rail, that larger rail runs right across here. There's a bolt here, 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 and here. And there's another one down there actually. And then the angle is here, there, all down through there. So to make sure that the knife is parallel, we'll check it with some feeler gauges, see how far off we are, see what direction we need to go. And then to adjust it, you loosen these bolts here up and move that piece up and down whichever way you need to go. And then you loosen these bolts up. So if you got to go up, you probably have to loosen these anyway. Slide that one up too. But then you want your clearance to be, I think it's 20 to 30 thousandths. Yeah, 20 to 30 thousandths between the top of the bearing and this angle right here. And that just keeps that plunger from bouncing up and down in there, but it gives it clearance for the bearing to roll. Never gonna guess. I forgot my feeler gauges. So I gotta see if Dad's got some. Man, I am forgetting everything. Not really everything, I just forget one little thing each time I go. And that prevents me from doing the job. All right, guys, so I was just kind of doing some stuff here, waiting for Dad to get up here so I can see if he's got some feeler gauges. And I thought I'd go ahead and loosen up the adjustable bottom rail here for the tail of the plunger, which is what adjusts the tail of the plunger up and down. And if you are familiar with this at all, you know that I ran into some problems because I got it out, but all the ends of my bolts are still in the nuts. Don't worry though, the other ends are right here. Every single one of them snapped right off, which really isn't surprising, but a guy could hope. All right, so we're just eyeballing it here. You can see that it's almost touching at the bottom of the knives, and you can see a lot of daylight at the top. So to adjust that, we're gonna have to come over here and loosen up this rail here and lift that. That's gonna bring that top in. And once we get close, we're gonna put a 20 thousandths feeler gauge in there. And see where we're at. Yeah, they gotta line up with this hole right here. Okay, so we got those two rails adjusted. We adjusted this bottom one so that the plunger knives are parallel. And then we adjusted this here so that there's 20 thousandths space between it and the top of that roller, that bearing. Now the next step is we're going to adjust these two bearings here so that there's about 20 thousandths gap there as well, between them and that top rail. Alright, you gotta hold the stud and tighten the locking nut. And now we're gonna check it with the feeler gauge.
Make sure it didn't move much.
You want a 10 to fit and then a 20 not to. I think that's just a little bit tight. Yeah, loosen it up just a little bit. These up here tight. Next, I'm gonna take a feeler gauge over to the other side. And Dad is going to tighten this washer. This is like a cam washer, and it's going to slide a bearing, the bearing in or out to push that plunger that way. And I'm going to tell him when to stop. And I've got a 10 thousandths feeler gauge. Actually, it's a 12 because I don't have one smaller. But this gap right in here. Hold on. And we want to put that feeler gauge right in this here. And then we want to push that over till we got 10 thousandths clearance there. So, it up, knocking the nuts off, because the nuts were messed up anyways by the time we got the bolts out of them. So, we knocked the nuts off with a punch and a hammer and welded new nuts on. So, we're good as new now. Ready for installation. We're closing in on the end of this plunger adjustment. Got to get this in so we can just kind of double check everything. Having some issues with my knife clearance and the rollers on the bottom, but this is going to have a big deal to do with that because this is what keeps that the tail of that plunger straight. So with this without this in there, it's all wonky. So we're gonna put this in there and see what it looks like. Baler, good. I'm not super ecstatic about it, but we've got, I think I might have to replace a rail or something, or adjust on the rail to get it right. But the issue is the knife, the stationary knife, is kind of sticking out past the bottom rail a little bit. So I think it'll be all right for now. It'll be all right for most people anyways, but I'd like it to be right. So anyways, it's good enough to go now, so we're gonna use it. And I've always got my baler if something happens with this one or we need to do something. But we're gonna take the tedder to my house, and I'm gonna ted in the morning, and then tomorrow we'll finish up the stacker, hopefully. Dad got the hay tedded at his house here. I got the tedder hooked up to my truck, taking it home. I'll be tedding my stuff tomorrow. And didn't really get to do much on anything really on the stacker wagon. We got the baler pretty well done. We got to put the covers back on it. I got to get the quarter turn chute on it. I'm gonna check chains and stuff like that. Check the hitch on this thing. All right, we're good. So we're closing in on some action. I'm kind of excited and apprehensive as well because I've never used the stacker wagon to speak of, and haven't really used the squeeze either, so hopefully all that stuff goes well. If so, this will be the first time ever square baling hay and handling it mechanically. So stay tuned. I just got home. Let's see. Medicine for the kids. They both have strep throat, so that's nice. I think my wife's got it. I don't know how I can't get it, but we'll see. Anyways, I am checking the strawberries, see if many of them have to be picked. If they don't, I don't want to wait. Man, definitely got some that need to be picked. Corn's coming up, so we got 2 rows of strawberries here, but I got 4 rows of bodacious corn, 4 rows of peaches and cream, 2 rows of contender green beans, and 2 rows of, I don't remember, these are 2 that I haven't tried before. 1 row of cucumbers, a half a row of okra, and then the other half is dill. And then we've got 8 pepper plants. Those are just bell peppers. I don't remember what kind. They're all green peppers, green bell peppers. And then we got 24 tomato plants, which are several different kinds, 4 of each, several different kinds. And this is our old strawberry patch. We actually took some transplants from here to plant the new patch, or the new rows. Not really a patch, I guess. But that's our garden. I'm gonna pick some strawberries and I'm gonna go in. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate the support. Again, as always, God bless you. God bless America. Franklin County Forage out.